Hi there, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's enjoying their evening. So I've been counselling this evening and I thought I'd make this quick video because it's something that comes up for a lot of people, and actually you can't live without it, and that is communication. But something what my clients come to see me for, especially couples but also individuals where they're struggling with relationship issues. Now this sometimes isn't about their partners or a previous relationship. Sometimes it can be family and friends, but they're struggling to communicate better. And that's what this video is about, and I'm going to try and keep it short. I've done plenty of other videos on communication and you can find them on my channel. So communication, I think the biggest misconception that people have is that they think if they speak clearly, if they speak loudly, if they use big words, or if they talk to someone, then that's it. That person will get it, receive it, understand it, accept it, and then everything will be fine. That person will come back with a response, all done. And that's a really big misconception, because communication isn't just about what you say. It's not. In fact, 90% of communication is body language and other things, non-verbal. It's only 10% is actually what you say. So if you think about it, you're saying something in a way that you feel is acceptable, you feel that you're saying it in the right tone, you think you're saying it in the correct way, and your expectation is that that other person's going to receive it and respond in the way that you want. Whereas that's not really how it works sometimes with communication, and that's where people come into communication difficulties. Because what actually happens is you have an idea of what you're going to say and how you're going to say it. There are lots of things tied up in that. One of the things tied up in it might be the past. So maybe you've had this conversation with your partner or with the person previously, and their response hasn't been great. So what you're then going to have is a set of feelings and thoughts about what you're about to say, and that will change how you communicate it. Now what happens is the other person isn't aware of this, because this is all going on subconsciously in your head. So if you've told this person 20 times before, why do you keep leaving the toilet seat up, or why didn't you help me more in the house, or why are we not having sex anymore, or whatever you've had that conversation previously, if the response you've had before has always been negative, you're either going to say it in a different way, and this time round you might attach different feelings to that. So maybe you're frustrated, so when you say it this time you're going to say, why are we not having sex, or what's wrong with you? Why don't you do the housework? You don't love me anymore. I'm sick of this relationship. I'm going to end it. So your communication is going to be based on what's happened previously, not on the current situation. And so that's an important thing to be aware of, is that if you've had constant and consistent conversations that have been the same and the responses have always been negative, then you need to sort of step back first and think, how can I still have this conversation but keep it in the present? How can I communicate what I want to say but not bring it, back to like 3 weeks ago when we had the same thing? The other thing that comes into communication is, I'm trying to think of the things, body language is a big one, we've already spoke about that. Thoughts, feelings, the past, so when you've had the conversation before. Expectations, that's it, that's a big one. When you communicate with someone and you have an expectation that they are going to respond in a certain way, or your expectation is that you're going to get an outcome or a specific result, then you're always going to lose. You can't control or dictate what another person feels or thinks about what you're going to say. You can't control about that, what they do when you say it. A big example of this is someone who might be cheating, or someone who's been cheated on. Now if you've had an affair and in your mind you say to yourself, well, it's better to be honest and say to my partner, I've been cheating on you, because if I'm honest with him and if I explain why I cheated, and if I say that, it was your fault a little bit because I weren't feeling loved in the relationship, then he's going to accept what I've said, or she is. Then everything's going to be smoothed out. They might end it with me, but my expectation is that we can work through this because we've had 10 years together. Now you've already come up with the outcome of what you want. You're not expecting the argument that's going to continue. You're not expecting your partner to say, well, no, you've told me you've had an affair, thanks for telling me, but it's over. And because you're not expecting that, you've got this whole expectation in your head before you communicate, but you're not really feeling what you're saying, and you're also not understanding the pain of the person that you're saying it to, because you've already got an outcome, you've got an agenda, and you've got a plan. So when your partner's screaming at you or crying or saying, how could you do this to me, you're not hearing any of that because you wasn't ready for that. You're hearing, why are they shouting? You know, we've got to work this out. And then you're going into panic mode, defensive mode, and then you're saying, doing more communication. But it's all based on what you want the outcome to be. You want the outcome for your partner to forgive you and for your relationship to continue. So the type of communication you're saying there is panicky, it's desperate, it's not feeling or understanding or compassionate towards the person you're revealing the news to. So in that situation, and in all situations really, the first step is to identify when you're communicating, where is it coming from? Are you in the present? Are you just literally being open, honest and present time communication? The second thing is body language. Is your body language open? Are you expressing how you truly feel? You know, if you feel you're not holding back on what you're saying. Is your communication based on what's going on now and not anything from the past or anything from a conversation you've had similar? And the final thing I want to say on this about better ways to communicate is that you need to uncover if there's any underlying fears about what you've got to say. Now, one of my clients that I've worked with, and as I said, I don't reveal actual details, but one of my clients that I've worked with previously had a massive fear that if they told their partner how they were truly feeling about the intimacy, the lack of intimacy in their relationship, that their partner would feel to blame, their partner wouldn't want to fix things, and their partner wouldn't, the sex wouldn't be the same between them because they've now raised this issue. But it was already an issue. It was already an issue in their relationship, but the person didn't want to say it. So what that means is when you've got an issue that's already, it's just lying dormant, but you have too many fears of really getting it out in the open and just like, you know, talking it through, then that's always going to be something that's going to cause an issue between two people. So as I've said, I'm trying to keep this short, but it's all about effective communication. Just be free with your emotions, free with your feelings, free with how you communicate. Be aware of your body language, be confident in what you're saying. Do not have any expectations about what's coming back. Another quick story actually is, I was with my sisters recently and my mum. My sister asked my other sister for a cigarette, and my other sister said no. And my sister wasn't expecting her to say no, so they started going off into this big rant. My mum got involved, and my mum started to say, you're selfish, why don't you give her a cigarette? Then the other sister was being attacked, why don't you give her a cigarette? That's really mean of you, blah, 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 blah. I stepped in and I said, when you ask a question, someone has the right to say no. You can't expect the answer to be yes. You might have that feeling that you want them to say yes, but if they can say no, they've got a right to say no. And both of them looked at me as if I was mad, but this is the point about communication. If you hold an expectation and you have an outcome in mind, I'm going to ask this person to borrow their car, I'm going to ask this person to give me a lift, I'm going to ask for a cigarette, and in the back of your mind you're waiting for a yes. When you get a no, you're going to be disappointed, but people have the right to say no. Communicate openly and freely, but keep your heart and your mind open, and then that will aid good communication. So I hope you found this video useful. I'm starting to do a lot more videos just around anything that I think will be useful for you guys. I'm trying to keep them short, under 5 minutes. This one hasn't worked, it's over. But please continue to watch. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel if you find my videos useful, and I'll catch up with you all soon. And I'll also leave my details below where you can make a counselling inquiry if you'd like to. Thank you for watching and enjoy your evening. Bye.